Good morning, the time is 9:30 a.m. on Friday, March 13th, 2026. I hereby call a special meeting of the Tip City Exempted Village School District to order. Let us begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Stevens, will you please take attendance of the board members?
Waiting for there we go. All right. President McMurray is absent this morning. Mrs. Dillard,
Here.
Mr. Thompson,
Here.
Mrs. Ernst,
Here.
Mrs. Planton.
Here.
We do have a quorum and can continue the meeting.
All right then, our first item on the agenda is new business, the high school renovation GMP 2.2 building package approval. May I have a motion to approve the high school renovation project GMP 2.2 building package between Tip City Schools and Shook Construction?
All motion.
One second. Are there any discussions? Mr.
So Mr. Yeah, so this is again something we knew was coming. We're trying to get ahead of some procurement of some items so so the Shook Construction can stay on their timeline. Mr. Pickworth is the Shook project manager for the high school project. So we have one for the PK8. He'll be working on the high school project for the next year and a half. And we're bottom line, we're under budget. We have some finalizing of a couple areas. One is the parking lot that we have allowance for because we are looking at redoing some of the not egress, the traffic flow to make it safer and easier for everybody. Two, furniture. We're finalizing some furniture. We have an allowance, and we think we can even do more now. We've had some conversations already about what we can do to utilize the money wisely for long-term benefits of the district, and I'm confident we're going to be able to continue to add value through this project to make this building back to where it was beginning or even better than that. Marcus, is there anything you'd like to add? Good.
There were two attachments on the
Yep.
agenda, and if you have any questions, you can ask the questions now of Mr. Pickworth.
I have a question. So the allowances, those are rough estimates that are included in the overall
Correct.
GDP, and those are also then included in the contingency. So the contingency is for the overall cost, which includes the paving. It's not that we're gonna bid those out later and the contingency doesn't cover those.
So the contingency for the traffic, right, for
Right.
the parking lot.
Yeah.
That's for the lower half of it, because
Okay.
the top half is already gonna be milled and filled.
Okay.
That's already been bid out. The $1.8 million is for that works. That will have to get bid out
Okay.
still for that part of that project.
Okay, but that's included in.
That
the overall
1.8
cost.
is included, same thing with the furniture allowance.
Okay.
Those pieces are included into the GMP.
Okay,
So they could come in less, they could come in a little more, but I think we're in a pretty good spot.
and if they come in more, they would come out of the contingency.
We have contingency dollars, right now, there's, I believe it's $2.2 million in contingencies, owner contingencies, built into the project with this GMP. So there's even additional contingencies the district has, OFCC, the district have.
Is that the overall project
Yes.
including the PKA, not
No,
just high
no.
school?
That's a separate.
So this is
2.2.
high school.
The high school, because of the budget's
Yeah.
lower, that money goes into contingency from the estimate. So we have this extra money that could go in to cover any extra cost,
So we have.
as long as it's co-fundable,
Okay.
so to speak.
So the contingency that's in this,
That's just for Shooks. Shook has 1.5%,
Okay,
yes. The overall budget is OFCC piece, that's a separate. They build in contingencies as well.
okay. And would we need to come back and vote if those contingencies need to be exercised?
just like we did with the camera system,
Yeah.
anything $100,000 and below, Dave and I have the ability for those
Okay.
change orders. If it's over $100,000, that's where the board would come into play to
Okay,
approve those.
okay,
That's the authority that the board gave
yes.
X amount of months ago.
And that would be up to the contingency that we have, that OFCC has set aside. So it would be, we have these dollars, this is, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
This is the GMP for this part of the project. If they need to use the contingency, they have full authority to use the contingency within whatever they have right now. Is that correct?
Correct, so, I mentioned about the steel
Yeah.
issue at the PK8. That's coming out of their contingency at the PK8 project.
Yeah.
They don't need to come to the board because it's their contingency they'll use. Any change order that the district needs to do, if it's over $100,000, so let's say bids came in at 1.6 million for the parking lot. And then we said, you know what, we really want this change to it, and it's $200,000. Even though it was part of the, within a $1.8 million, the change order is over $100,000. That would have to come to the board because it would be our contingencies that we paid
So
for.
we'd be approving the execution of this funds, but then it wouldn't be over and above the funding we've already set aside for that.
Correct, and actually, you'll be getting, you had asked a couple questions on contingencies.
Yeah.
So with this information today, we reviewed it Wednesday with the OFCC. You'll have a whole list of all the contingencies, and there is, we're sitting good financially right now with all those things.
Okay.
Like right now, the PK8 still has 2.9 million in contingencies for that project alone.
Okay.
And we have 2.2 with the approval of this will be in contingency for the high school project. So, and then there's other contingencies that we have as well. So that'll all be spelled out there. But Shooks, this contract with Shooks this is part of their contract that they have for issues that need to get resolved.
Could you, for just a minute, talk about why it would be important? Because the community might hear that we have extra money in the run budget. They say that's a great thing, that's money that is not gonna have to eventually come out of our pocket. But can you speak, at least just for the community's benefit, on why it would be important if we do have the extra money and we're under budget, to be able to consider additional things, upgrades or expanded scopes, or whatever the case might be?
Correct, so, for example, in this scope, because the estimates came in at, what, 11, that was OFCC's estimates, 11 point whatever million dollars. We're concerned about certain things, like we were only gonna paint like a couple walls, not all the walls, because we thought, okay, maybe we just get by with that. Well, now that we have more money, we'll do all 4 walls bring everything up to speed. We've added the VAV boxes, the heating boxes. That was something that, based on the estimates, we've added to the project to make sure we're getting everything that will help sustain the building, not just for now, not just, hey, get us by, it's gonna look nice, but it's gonna last for a long time and help us be more efficient as well.
So where we may have opted for value options, given the fact that there's a little more money available, now we can go back and say, we can get a little more premium on some of these features that's going to enhance or create longevity.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And to use your word from last time, this is giving us some future proofing. Is that correct? We're giving us options that will help us endure and
Yeah.
minimize costs in the future.
Yeah, we're looking at long-term sustainability, we're looking at safety and security, and just educational value for long-term use. For example, we talked about this the other day, safety, security, upgrading our radio system to a digital system that would then encompass the whole district. What are those things that we can add value to, and we're asking OFCC, we're asking Shook, we're asking Gardner, what are all those things that can be done? And we'll look into it. Again, some of them may not be co-fundable, but they may be priorities that we like to have, down the road. And that's when we share that with the board, you know, if it's over $100,000 to make those things happen, yeah.
I think it's important sometimes to spell it out, especially considering those who are gonna go back and watch these meetings, that we're not looking at upgrading our gym floors, right? We're looking at safety and security at this point.
Yeah,
We're looking at things that are gonna make, a serious difference in terms of very real concerns or very real,
Yeah.
not just luxury items or things that aren't necessary. These are things that we can really improve.
Well, our bleachers at the high school
Yeah.
have been a bit of an issue. We're looking to replace all those now because we have the extra money, so it's gonna be safer. Right now, some people are maybe sitting and some get broken.
Yeah.
We're gonna upgrade the seating there, so it's a safe, welcoming spot for somebody. Pretty excited.
I will say though, isn't it reasonable to think because of the much outdated grant card management and your staff team, they talk about how we can apply for that. And so just to, it might not be the best use of public funds, especially considering that and
No,
thinking long term.
because this money can only be used for buildings.
But if
This
you-
cannot be used, we cannot use this for anything other than building projects. It can't go into operational funds.
Not for operational, but we're saying if the public looks and says, can you refund that to us? If we're looking and saying we're gonna be in the hole, I think just from a public perception, it's gonna look like, okay, great, we're in the hole now, you're coming back to us for money, and we would have rather you not spent it on this project. So just for public perception, I think that we need to be careful with that.
And that's where the board would make those decisions, right? The board would make those decisions, and if there's leftover money, where that money would go to. I think there's still a lot of things that, you know, may wanna be looked at in the future. So we don't have to go back to the taxpayers for things.
Is it possible, because you mentioned the bleachers, which I think that's fantastic, is it possible for you to just kind of come up with, at some point in time, not obviously for the next meeting or anything, but just a list of things that you see as a priority for the district, so we can just kind of be thinking as to what the board sees as a priority for.
So in the thing you'll be getting here this morning, it has the things that other contingency items we're still looking to do for the building. That will be listed out, so you'll have that here.
And then, Dave, this is just for my edification on how this works. I know that we have to have OFCC requires $500,000 for 23 years
Yes.
for maintenance and whatnot. Money cannot be used for that as well, correct?
No, the money, we are currently using funds from the PI levy that we collect. Instead of passing a $500,000 levy to cover it, we're using current PI levy funds to pay that $500,000. So every year we'll have that transfer
Gotcha.
from what we did, what was that, January? We approved the transfer from the 003 fund to the 32 fund, so.
I just have two more questions. Okay. So on the SDI scope, it says that there was an increase of 130,000. What specifically on that scope caused that increase? It said that it was general scope increases, but I didn't see. And that was on the,
Can you page and,
oh, yeah, the 3-page document, and it's just in that first
Oh.
paragraph with the blue text. Point.
I think it's the addition of the SDI.
what was the number? I wanna make sure I look at the right.
1.1, Article 1, contract sum and related items for this amendment. 1.1.1.1.
Okay. The general conditions cap, is that what you're saying? The general conditions tab?
Correct. It's just
Okay.
what specifically in that SDI scope caused that increase? Just in case I missed it somewhere.
General conditions cap and amount of which was And Marcus, if I'm not mistaken, this was stuff that was lowered, is this the stuff that was taken out of it? The cap, cause we capped with the, yeah,
It looks like it's just adding a layer of risk protection.
Yeah, what is SDI?
so general, we had a discussion at a facilitated meeting.
Yeah, so SDI is our subcontract default insurance. So, in lieu of any trade having a bond, our insurance covers their potential to default. Because this is a new GMP, there's no other previous GMP that covers the cost of this work to be insured by that default. So that's what this specific increase is. It was always part of our general conditions and that cap. This is just a breakout and more explanation of what's included in the general conditions, which is this default.
Okay.
Or ability to insure that default.
Thank you for clarifying that.
So if something happens with the contractor, they walk off the job or anything, right, that protects the district, protects the CMAR.
Thank you for explaining that. And then last question, is on page 15, exhibit B, it states that future design bulletins are excluded and will be priced later. And does the design team anticipate bulletins that would increase the overall project cost based on that?
Not, I wouldn't say over estimates,
Okay.
but now that we have additional funding, we may ask for additional things, right, such as the painting of the walls. So that's what they're saying in this piece, is that this GMP doesn't include anything else. We had a discussion on this last week, because it's kind of like, well, that's what change orders are for, RFIs and PRs are for. That would automatically document any changes, so, but that's what that means. So we're not planning on going
Above the
over
total.
budget, yeah,
Okay.
but that's not something
Okay.
being considered.
We couldn't go over budget unless it was approved by the community, right? If they were requesting more money. We couldn't go over budget unless the school district paid for it out of pocket.
Yes, and we do have, like, we have contingencies that have paid for things, right? We have, to get that the south lot of LT Ball, we had to take care of that for different things. We have contingency money set aside specifically for local funded
Right.
items, yes. Total locally funded pieces.
So is there any more discussion or any comments from our representative from Shook? No? Okay, Mr. Stevens, will you call the vote?
Thompson,
Yes.
Ernst,
Yes.
Dillard,
Yes,
Lyman.
Yes.
the motion passes. Our next item on the agenda is adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn this special meeting?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Will you call the vote?
Ernst,
Yes.
Lyman,
Yes.
Dillard,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
It is now 9:49 a.m. on Friday, March 13th, 2026, and this special meeting of the Tip City Board